Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. And today we're gonna be talking about how are you gonna pass this real estate test, girl. Because me, if you saw my last video, one of my last videos about the story time, how I failed it 4 times, you really need to watch this because I don't know what it was, but I just, no words, failed again, finally passed. So if you ask me, I know how to pass that test now. If you want to know, keep watching this video because I'm gonna spill the tea. Okay? Yeah, like this traffic just to go 2 exits is just too much. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Jazzy the Realtor. I'm the new realtor on the block, and I know what it is and I do what it does, and I get the job done. I've been meaning to make this video. I mean, this is a video I wanted to make before I even started my real estate channel. And don't mind the look. I definitely just woke up, went to get a coffee because it's about like 8 o'clock at night, and I knew I needed to make this video. And this was actually requested by one of my newest subscribers, so shout out to you. And let's get it cracking. So, first things first, I am a realtor in the state of Connecticut. So if you don't know where Connecticut is, it's like right next to New York. And I'm like right on the tip. So I'm right there. I primarily serve in like Fairfield County, a little bit of New Haven County, but in New Haven County is kind of where Yale is. And then Fairfield County, if you guys know where like Greenwich is, Stamford, over there, like that's like my primary, like that's my vibe. Like that's where I live and work. Okay, cool. So, number 1, this is, you get this thing, and I'll go over like how to actually become a real estate agent, like what is the process. I'm gonna make a video after this. So if you don't know how to even like get started with real estate, watch this, the next video after you watch this, and then you'll have the whole picture. Okay. So you're gonna get a certificate. Boom, boom, boom. Congratulations, you done passed the test. You done passed the in-class test, and the in-class test is barely passing. Ooh, excuse me. If you're barely passing the in-house test, you're definitely not gonna pass the real estate test. You're just not. Okay, you're just not. So now it's time for us to get into how the heck do we pass this test. Okay, number 1, you need to relax. Okay, I mean, when I tell you I was going around talking about some, I'm gonna pass my test, like I'm a realtor, lies, girl, lies. Like, you really gotta, and I keep saying girl, I'm sorry, that's how I talk, but males, whoever, you really gotta sit down and come up with a plan, okay? And if I have the time, I'll put like a little template of something that you can follow, which might work for you, but you need to come up with a plan. So you know you need your 60 hours. So you're gonna see, when does your classes start? How long are you gonna take to take the 60 classes? Whether it's 3 months, 4 months, however the classes go in your state or whatever. So within that, you have to first realize that your instructor, they're not really teaching you nothing. Like, they're teaching you, but they're not really teaching you nothing. Like, you have to go in your books and really figure out the method that's gonna best allow you to learn. So for example, I went to college, and your professor is gonna be there. Like, they're gonna teach how they teach, but it's your job to figure out how to learn the content for you to be able to remember it for the test at the end of the day. It's not on them, it's on you. So if you think you're gonna show up to the class and just taking everything that they say, they're saying maybe like 60% of the stuff that you need to know for the test. And they probably only might say it once or twice. So it's your job to come prepared, do what you gotta do, and get through it. So, the first thing that you need is your book. So this book right here is gonna really show you the nitty-gritty of what you need to know for the test. A lot of it is unnecessary, but it's all good to know. Like, you should at least read this book 3 times. Like, you should have this book read, highlighted, all that at least 3 times. So this is the regular book, and then you're gonna get a state book. You should get a state book or something else, a state version of this book, because this is this is for the universal test, and then you have the state book. So the first thing I messed up is not having that state book. I went through the real estate school, and the school basically gave me this little packet, and the packet didn't have all the information I needed to pass the test. That was a red flag, which I didn't realize until the end. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, cool, boom. We got the books, we are in the classes, and we're vibing, right? So how my school had it was that there was no structure. Like literally you would just come to the class. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at night, and then like Tuesday, Thursday in the morning. You can pick whenever you wanted to go, and then once you get online, then they'll tell you, okay, we're gonna study this for the day, or we're gonna study this for the night. Or he might tell us one chapter we're gonna do prior to the day. So nothing was structured. Everything was just kind of like you come, and whoever was closest to their point, like their credits, they would teach that chapter just specifically for them because they're about to test out. So nothing was structured. So it's your job to go in this with a system, right? So I might actually have it right here. Matter of fact, is this the book? This is not the book. Okay, I'm frustrated with myself because I don't know where I put that. I have, there's an intern that I'm helping study for the test, and we should have a video coming soon. If you see this, Anna, you need to hop on Zoom so we can do this training for the viewers. Okay. No, but for real. She might have my notebook. So in that notebook, I literally put a calendar together, like 1 month calendar review, or it was 2 months, whatever it was, but it had a calendar of all the chapters and how I wanted to study. So where I went wrong in the beginning was that I was putting this all on the instructor. I would kind of skim it before we went to class, and then when we went to class, I would just follow along and really not listen. If you don't know this, I don't know, but my mother is in real estate. She's a has-been for 40 years. So I had this entitlement cap on, like I know everything, you can't tell me nothing, because I know how to sell a house already. And then comes to find out, your girl knows nada about the test. Come up with your schedule, then, okay, let's kind of dive into the schedule. So within your schedule, it's easier to do a big chapter with a small chapter, and you study that for 3 days. I will put on the screen an example of what I mean, like right here, but you want to do like for example, like contracts is a lot. So you would maybe study contracts with like the basic principles of real estate, which is I think chapter 1. So you want to do something like that, where there's like a big chapter with a small chapter, or like a big chapter by itself, and then 3 small chapters together that you're gonna study in a day. And what this does, it helps you learn information from different sections of the book, and it helps you retain, because then when you come back and you restudy it, you're like, oh, I kind of remember this. I don't remember that, but I do remember this, and now this is what I need to study again. So that's what I did, right? Like when I got serious. So as you're going through the course with the teacher, you're gonna go on their pace, you're gonna study whatever they want you to study, and they're gonna go through whatever they're doing, you go through that with them, but then you're gonna be on your own study journey on the side, and that's what you're really gonna stay faithful to and focused on. Stay dedicated to the mission. The mission is to finish this section of stupid testing, okay? If you can get through this, and you can get through anything. Well, because there's some people that get through the test quickly, but then they don't know how to sell a house. That's debatable, whatever. But all I'm just saying is like, this is the part that we're trying to get through. So stay focused, stay dedicated. You're gonna study. So now, next section, I'm gonna teach you how to study. So these are the platforms that you're gonna use. Prep Agent, is your best friend. You're gonna use Prep Agent for vocab. Prep Agent is gonna teach you all vocab. Here is, I'm not gonna show you my information, but here's like one of the tests I failed. Okay, we're not gonna go over that right now, but I just wanna show you guys. So we're not going over what I failed. You're just gonna look at the different categories. And this is for all of the uniform questions have these same topics, and I just showed you. So within Prep Agent, I don't have access to it anymore because it took me like 2 years to get my license, and like they only give you like, I think a 2-year window or whatever, year-and-a-half window, whatever it is. And you can study by topic, or you could do like a mixed question thing. So I advise you to keep taking the test. It doesn't matter how much you fail, just keep taking them. Just keep taking them, keep taking them. Whenever you have time, take them, and then you'll eventually get better. While you're taking those tests, you need to also be studying those chapters. If you study the chapters and those concepts while you're taking the test, you will then move forward. But if you're not trying to do both at the same time, you've already done. You're done. You already failed. Okay. You should also be just taking the vocab section. I think there's over like, I don't know. It's mad vocab words. Like he has a section just on vocab, and you can keep taking those tests. That's A1. Like if you don't know your vocab, you don't know nothing. It's like, how are you gonna read if you don't even know how to spell out the words? You don't even know what the words mean. So that's what I suggest you also do. So you're gonna do all of the topics, and you're also studying vocab. If I were you, I would study vocab first. You heard it here. Study your vocab first, and then you kind of go from there. So you in your groove, you doing well, you studying. Vocab, Prep Agent, and then in your book, they're gonna have a lot of questions. So at the end of each chapter, you're gonna take the quiz. I suggest do not write in the book in the beginning, do like small marks, because when you get closer to the end of the test, because these questions in the book, they're hard. Like I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, yeah, so like see here, this chapter 2. This is chapter 1. It's the second page. But you take the test and you see how you do, okay? Just see how you do. It's nothing big, nothing little, just take the test. You're also, this is what transformed my studying. Every vocab word, see all these vocab words? You're going to write them down. You're gonna write them all down and write, not a sentence to them, but just a phrase. And you'll learn this by watching Prep Agent. He'll teach you, for example, like a word, you're not gonna remember an entire like sentence definition. You're gonna only do like, I don't know if they're called fast words, I don't know. Okay, when you think of buffer zone, what do you think of? You think of a zone between residential and commercial, or yeah, I think it's residential and commercial, or residential and industrial. Whatever the buffer zone is, a space in between. It could be like a playground or something in between to kind of like be the buffer zone of two different areas. So that's an example. Like buffer zone, space in the middle. Loan, lending money. I think it's also important to write out, not the whole book. I wish I had my book because it had everything in it. Like write out everything. Your first time going through it or your second time going through the book, write out the whole book, okay? Write it out and just write it out. Like you're not gonna be happy about it, but you gotta write it out. If you write everything out and do the diagrams, when you're in your final sessions of studying, you're able to go back and the content is a lot easier to consume because you remember, oh, I wrote this down. I didn't remember what it meant at that time, but now I'm back and I kind of understand it better. So it's easier to reread it and actually marinate what the words mean, if that makes sense. So you gotta write it down, okay? Not every single word in the book, but all the vocab for the most part, write not every single word, but most of the vocab you want to write out. And you want to highlight the vocab in the book. Okay. The fact that this is the night I try to record, I don't know what they're doing at church service. I don't know what is going on outside, but it's loud and they got a mic. I don't know what's going on. I don't have no church around, like there's no church that's on the street, so I don't understand why I hear mic. I don't know. So after you're getting a rhythm of the content and you've been through everything, that should take you like a month. Right? That's just to kind of get through everything. I mean, you're studying hard body. I mean, you're going to work, you're coming home, you're studying, you're restudying, you're taking your tests, you're practicing, you're doing everything you gotta do. You're studying hard, like no stop. Then you're gonna come to the point, this is the point where you know 50% of the work. In order for you to pass, you gotta pass with a 70%. So now you know 50. And it's a lot of content, and I think I could do future videos on like what's actually on the test versus like what's really not, and what do you not like, what needs to be studied versus like it's not that deep. So after you kind of get everything out of the way, you've studied all the content, you know exactly what is going to be on the test, but it doesn't mean that you remember everything. So now that you know everything, what will be on the test, now it's time to kind of hone in and figure out what am I missing. Now, what I tell you right now is gonna be, this is it. Like, this is the money maker right here, okay? This is the money maker. You're gonna go to the PSI exam, because I think everybody uses PSI. You're gonna go to PSI and you're gonna hit practice tests. They have a practice test, and then they have two options. They have the 100 question practice test, and then they have the 500 question practice test. You're gonna go to the 500 question practice test, and you're gonna retake it. I mean, 100, retake it. And I got this at Best Advice. His name is G John. He's on our team. He was like, go and keep taking it until you get 90%. Those questions are literally almost identical to the questions on the test. You will have an understanding of exactly what you need to know if you do the PSI practice test. You'll understand the verbiage, because prep agent is good for you to study to comprehend the content, but in order for you to pass the actual test, that's what you need. You need the PSI exam. It'll tell you all the different categories, what you need to restudy, what you kind of have versus what you're doing great in. They have the test mode, they have the training mode, like they have everything you need. But don't go study that until you actually understand the content. Like, it's like that system can teach you how to take the test, but in my opinion, it's like, I'd rather not overwhelm myself and trying to be on multiple platforms trying to learn. Instead, like, dig into your book, because at the end of the day, that's A1 day one. Do that, hop on prep agent, learn your vocab first, then go, you're gonna go through the book, make sure you're writing everything out. Then you're gonna go back through the book, only write the vocab for each chapter, and try to have a word that's like a sentence for each of the vocab words. Once you do all of that, then that's just my opinion, then you can move on to the PSI exam. But make sure you're taking those tests in the book. Taking the test in the book, you're taking the prep agent test, you'll be ready. And when I say you'll be ready, at this point, you'll be at 60%. Once you take the PSI practice test, oh, they're gonna whip you into shape. You're gonna be looking at these questions like, what? Because they're gonna take you an hour to complete. Like, it's literally a mock of the real estate test. And if I did this sooner, I think I would have passed a little bit earlier, but whatever. So what didn't I talk about is the state exam. I also feel like I didn't pass the test because I didn't have the state exam. Like the state book, they have the Connecticut book, and then they have, they have the uniform book, and then they have the state book. And in the state book, it kind of tells you everything you actually need to know to pass the test. The state book is good because it condenses everything into like 200 pages. Whereas this book, I think this book is like 500, 400. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this book is like 400 pages. That other book kind of really gets in to the nitty gritty of your state. And that's kind of what that's when you know you're ready. Like when you can read through that book in a breeze and kind of be like, all right, bet, this is what I need, cool, 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 then you're good. You should be studying that as you study the uniform test. But this video is primarily on the uniform test because if you don't even understand the content of the first book, there's no way you're gonna remember the stuff for the state. And what I've heard is that the state is easier. For me, it wasn't, because I didn't have all the right content for the state book, so that's why I like kept failing it. But yeah, that's what I think. Like, study first the uniform exam, and then towards the end, like, start putting in the state information. I'm trying to figure out, what am I missing? I think that you're able to go in and do this in the first shot if you listen to what I say. I mean, someone that took this test 5 times, like, and now I'm selling real estate, like, I'm giving you the tea. Like, I'm being completely honest. I'm giving you everything I have. I think it would be best if I can do some live study sessions with you guys to really help you guys get through. Like, just, you have some type of content to watch. But my thing is, don't take a break. Once you take a break, you've already messed up. Okay, if you guys have any questions, comments, need anything in specific that you want me to like do a video on, I have no problem doing it. In the section below, subscribe, like, I hope this little sit down like inspired you just to get it done. Get it done, go out there, sell that real estate, make that money. And I am out from your dedicated agent, Jazzy the Realtor. Peace out.